Our daily Bible reading for March 13th. Our reading today comes from the Gospel of Mark, chapter 15. Mark chapter 15, we'll be reading verses 33 through 47. And when the 6th hour had come, there was darkness over the whole land until the 9th hour. And at the 9th hour Jesus cried out with a loud voice, Eloi, Eloi, lema sabachthani, which means, my God, why have you forsaken me? And some of the bystanders, hearing it, said, Behold, he is calling Elijah. And someone ran and filled a sponge with sour wine, put it on a reed, and gave it to him to drink, saying, Wait, let us see whether Elijah will come to take him down. And Jesus uttered a loud cry and breathed his last. And the curtain of the temple was torn in two, from top to bottom. When the centurion who stood facing him saw that in this way he breathed his last, he said, Truly, this man was the Son of God. There were also women looking on from a distance. Among them were Mary Magdalene and Mary, the mother of James the younger, and of Joses, and Salome. When he was in Galilee, they followed him and ministered to him. And there were also many other women who came up with him to Jerusalem. And when evening had come, since it was the day of preparation, that is, the day before the Sabbath, Joseph of Arimathea, a respected member of the council, who was also himself looking for the kingdom of God, took courage and went to Pilate and asked for the body of Jesus. Pilate was surprised to hear that he should have already died, and summoning the centurion, he asked him whether he was already dead. And when he learned from the centurion that he was dead, he granted the corpse to Joseph. And Joseph bought a linen shroud, and taking him down, wrapped him in the linen shroud, and laid him in a tomb that had been cut out of the rock. And he rolled a stone against the entrance of the tomb. Mary Magdalene and Mary, the mother of Joses, saw where he was laid. A thought or two for today. Take a look around you the next time that you go to a youth sporting event, or maybe a high school band concert, or some other activity where young people gather to perform or compete. Take note of those who are represented in the stands of the audience. Chances are you will find a higher percentage of mothers, grandmothers, aunts, and so forth. Even male-dominated activities will find those attending to observe to be females. Now, to be fair, there are many men who attend, and we certainly don't want to diminish the roles they play. It is interesting that the gospel account should include this particular passage that described those who followed and ministered to Jesus. There were some listed as mothers of disciples, Salome from Matthew chapter 26:56, and Mary. There was Mary Magdalene, who had been healed of demons. We read this in Mark 16, verse 9. Matthew and Luke tell us that many followed him to Jerusalem from Galilee. Luke says all his acquaintances. We find in the book of Luke a list of those who helped Jesus along the way in his ministry. It says, and also some women who had been healed of evil spirits and sicknesses. Mary, who was called Magdalene, from whom 7 demons had gone out, and Joanna, the wife of Chuza, Herod's steward, and Susanna, and many others who were contributing to their support out of their private means. Luke chapter 8, verses 2 and 3. Here's a little secret salespeople and charity workers have known for the longest time. If you want to increase your sales or contributions, tailor your presentation to meet the needs of the wives or females you solicit. More than likely, they are the financial decision makers in the family. There is a prophecy fulfilled from the book of Psalms in this act by his friends and disciples. The psalmist writes in Psalm 38, verse 11, My loved ones and my friends stand aloof from my plague, and my kinsmen stand afar off. A sort of sadness in this, really, when you think of it in human terms. Those who were Jesus' friends and relatives and supporters are at a distance watching this horrific spectacle unfold. The one they had put their hope and faith in, the one who had healed them and showed compassion, now hangs rejected from heaven and earth, friendless and forsaken. A question of the day. Have you considered the influence that women have had in the church over the centuries? And finally, a thought to meditate on today. Think about the leading women of the Bible and the great impact they have had. And those are our thoughts for today, March 13th.